Hello, ladies and gentlemen, CaptainShack here, and welcome to my second episode of Mod Library, Modding Space Engineers. Now, if you don't know, about a week or so ago, they released modding support. They finally released modding support onto the Steam Workshop. So it's so easy now to install mods. I mean, all you do is subscribe to a mod that you like, and it instantly downloads, and then you just pick which ones you want on your map, and you're good to go. It's a really cool system, and so much stuff. It hasn't been out for like 2 weeks now, and so much stuff has already come out. So just to introduce you guys, behind me is the ship, the Unity. Now, this name was picked by the community. I'll go first person here and show you. Oh, look at that moon. This name was picked by the community. It was recommended because the idea is I'll be upgrading this ship with the mods and the updates as they come out. I'm renovating this ship. I'm updating it, upgrading it so it's completely functional in every way. And I'm doing that with mods and with patches. So the idea was that the ship itself was built by a player that stopped supporting it. He didn't update it. But it's players, developers, and mod authors all coming together to make something awesome, and that would be this ship. So I thought that was a really cool idea, so we're going to use that name. I asked everybody in the last episode. But anyways, in the series, we'll be upgrading the ship, and I'll be spotlighting around 4, maybe 5 mods per episode. We're going to jump right into it. I wanted to show you guys, these are the Titan engines. These suckers put out power like 2 times what a normal large reactor puts out. These are for giant capital ships. Let's see, who made this one? It was Darth Biomech. Yeah, he's made a ton of cool mods. I actually spotlighted nothing but his mods in the last episode. So that's actually a large engine in there, and you can see the difference. I mean, this thing pumps out a ton of power. Very well detailed. You got like a plate there where I guess this would be the line, and then everything behind this would probably be like the interior of the ship. I think it looks pretty good on the outside, but I might surround it with black armored plating like you see those engines are, just to make it look the same and to protect them. But I mean, look at the detail on it, it's fantastic. But okay, let's get into the new mods. So the first one is another engine that I want to talk about here. Let's turn on my inertial dampeners. So it's a medium engine. Now right now there's a large and then there's the small for capital ship classes. This right here is a medium. And there's a variety of different colors already up. Mod authors have been modding other mod authors work and re-uploading it with different colors. But if you want the main one that the actual author made, it's red. It's not set up for survival yet. Let me pull it up here in the build menu. You're gonna see a lot of mods installed. I'm testing quite a few. The ones that I've tested and I know work pretty well, I will be spotlighting. So I'll get to the other ones soon, as soon as I have more time with them. But all right, so let's change the color to something a little bit lighter. We'll just do gray. There's a gray one. There's a red one. And let's throw maybe a yellow up there. Sure, why not? But it's a nice middle ground, really. From the small to the large, you get these. They look like kind of maneuvering thrusters. I really like them. As I was saying, they're not set up for survival because if you look at the requirements, you can build it in survival, but the requirements aren't balanced. It's only 1 unit per. I think that's the build requirements for a small thruster. Not so good. Not so good. But it does work in game, and you can come up with some pretty cool designs if you want to just do free build with it and not worried about balance. Alright, so the next mod that we're going to cover is actually the suit that I'm wearing. Come to think about it, before we go any farther, this is the Cerberus skin for the astronaut suit. I think it's pretty legit. You know, you got the Cerberus symbol in there from Mass Effect. It's got all the colors, and if you can look real close, I don't know if you guys can see it there on YouTube, but there's actually a like the octagon texture of the suit. It looks pretty kick-ass. But all right, let's head on inside. We'll look at some new stuff that I've managed to install. Now you're going to see a few mods that I've installed that I won't be covering in this episode, just because I haven't had a chance to test them out thoroughly. But let's run through here. Like, here you go. Here's one that I've been testing out. These are the bunk beds. I haven't seen a system slowdown on it yet, but these are the only ones that I built so far, so I haven't messed with them too much. We'll go ahead and spotlight these ones since they're just a decorative item. They are balanced for survival. They do work. Here's the construction requirements, and they really, if you're trying to make like a crew quarters, they don't actually do anything. I hope they do get some type of functionality as modding support continues to grow for the game, but it's pretty legit. You got like a flat screen TV in there. The bed, it looks like somebody actually lives aboard this ship, so I kind of just slammed them in the corner to take a look at what they look like. But let's head through here. This is one of the first rooms that I've started working on. This is kind of the med center. So here, actually, this is a perfect time to test this mod. So, the mod that we're gonna check out next, if you've ever built a large ship, we'll do it right here. You know it's really easy to get lost in larger ships, especially if you didn't design the ship. If you're testing somebody's build, or if you have a buddy coming over to take a look at one of your ships that you've made recently, you'll know it's really, really too easy to get lost. All the rooms look the same because this is the only interior wall set that's released as a default, so a lot of the ships look just like this on the inside. Pretty dull, pretty boring. So, on the front page of Steam right now, they've got signs. Now, what took me forever to figure out was, this is the only sign that it shows in the build menu. It'll be this little white square. Here it is right here. And it'll say sign block. And the way you actually get the block to change, once you've placed it, pull out your drill and start grinding it until you get to the sign you want. And I'll show you all the available signs. So you just grind it. And as it goes through the different grind states, it'll change. There we go, med center. So that's perfect for it right there. Here, I'll place another one. I actually like that one, so we're just gonna leave it there. But I'll place another one, and we'll go through some of the grind states on it. And you can see the different med center, stairs going down. All right, stairs going up. Bathrooms, exit. That could be a good one. Bunks, for the bunks, nice. And then a blank one. So I don't know if he's gonna add more, hopefully. And I think after that, it just, yeah, it's just me like drilling out the wall behind it. All right, so there you go. He doesn't have stuff like armory on there or bridge. Those are some of the things I would really like to see. So if you happen to see this mod author, he was asking for feedback on the actual mod page for it. Let me fix this wall. Another thing that I'm testing is this wall set, which will probably be in the next episode. I'm going to do a whole episode on different decorations and walls. The next mod that I do want to show off, though, is this one. Kick on my lights here. Stormtrooper armor, but it's actually functional. It's a place where you can like store your stuff is kind of what it looks like, but what it really does is when you walk up to a hit T, it acts just like a med center. You can change the color and what armor you're wearing. I've only got one armor skin currently installed, but it does the same thing that a medical center does when you walk up to the, whatever that is, the scanning device, the CAT scan thing, where you can change the colors and whatnot. Can't change the colors of the skins though. At least not that I've seen. All right, let's head out to the next room. This one is pretty cool. It's not the most detailed. The textures on it could be better, but I think it's a really cool engineering centerpiece. It's more or less the warp core from Star Trek Voyager. Fully functional, puts out power of, I want to say it's either 2 or 4, I think it's 2, of these reactors, of the large capital ship reactors. And it does take up the space of 2, but it isn't as bulky. Like, I can actually fly in between these, unlike the big ones. So, sadly, the warp core, the antimatter, whatever you call that, regulator, the actual core itself isn't animated, and I wish it was. Hopefully that's something they'll be able to change later on and get some better textures, because the control panel is pretty low textured. There is a reason why we're open to space here, and I will show it in just a second. Control panel does work. You can go up to it, flick it on, go through it. There you go. You got a maximum output of 400 megawatts, which I believe, do we have a control panel we can pop onto this sucker? Yeah, we do. This thing does, that was 400. This is 100, so it puts out 4 times that of a large reactor. But it costs a bit more to make, and I believe it's a bit more explosive when it detonates. We'll probably test that out before this is over. Another thing to note that took me a minute to figure out, you can do piping to it. So if you want to, pipe your fuel to it through a cargo bay, there's the access panel is on the top and the bottom. Even though there's not actually something there, it is a setup there. You can hook them up to piping. So, all right. And the last thing that I wanted to show off isn't actually a mod. I just think it's so cool I have to show it. It's one of the best patches we've had so far. It really is neat. Let's run through here. We're going to head over to our docking bay. Now, last time I did one of these spotlights, I showed that we had built the door system. This docking bay door actually opens now. We've got it all set up. It doesn't have the numbers yet because we're still getting the same bug we were last week where it wasn't saving the minimum settings for the pistons, which is too bad. But what we do have in the last patch, this is so cool, control panels, actually working control panels that you can program. So we're gonna walk up here, we're gonna hit T. Actually, I think it's T on this. There we go. You walk up to it and you hit K on the buttons that aren't set up, and then it'll let you choose anything that you have hooked up to the ship right now. You can use macros. I mean, hell, there's the warp core. I can shut down the warp core from here. If I was going to click this and drag it down here, and then it'll give me various options. Turn off warp core. Sure, why not? And now that button's programmed, and if I hit it, our warp core just shut down. So what we've got is one of these set up right now. Actually, we don't, because it's reset itself. So let's go ahead and go into the ship's systems real quick, and I'll show you how this works. So main hangar doors. Here's the problem. The bug they're having right now is minimal distance. We're going to turn that back down. It's supposed to be 0.2, and you saw it at like 3 billion, and I'm not sure why. It's not saving decimal points. So I don't really know why that is, but we'll close that. That's the large doors. We don't want that. We want this one. Hangar door 1 should be set up. Oh yeah, it is working. There we go. So I'll hit it again. I hit the button, and now this can be used for anything. And if you've got an antenna, it can even be used remotely. So we could open these doors up remotely, and we'll fly out through the hole before it shuts all the way. And there you go. Pretty neat. There's a lot of cool stuff we're going to be seeing in builds with this. The remote control of turrets, opening up and coming out and turning them and firing rocket pods. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you can do. Remote opening shuttle bay doors so you can actually land your shuttle without having to get out and go open the door. Just a lot of neat stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that. All right, guys. I think that's going to wrap up our second mod collection for Space Engineers. I'm really looking forward to making this nice big library of the really kick-ass mods that come out for Space Engineers. I mean, the game is so cool. It's really coming along. It's like, thinking back before we had doors, before we had windows, multiplayer wasn't a thing. I mean, the game is getting an update every Thursday, so I'm crazy excited for it, and I'm going to continue to upgrade this ship as the game advances. And it'll be neat to look back at old videos. So if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and if you see mods that you really like that I haven't spotlighted yet, drop me a link, drop me a comment in the comments below so we can get those added to the ship. And if you have any cool ideas on how to make the ship cooler, better, let me know. I've got a lot of work to do on it still. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, like I said, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Later.